Hey, back for another project. We are gonna turn this bland table into fabulous African end table. So if you're ready, let's get the supplies and get it going. Okay, so to start off, obviously we're gonna need our supplies, and that's gonna be any color of your choice. Today, I am going to use this fabulous turquoise color. And I used this on a previous project where I redid pretty much a bar cart, or I forgot what they're called, a buffet table. There you go, a buffet table. And I have about half a can left, so I'm gonna use it on that table. Choose a brush of your choice. Now, all these have different tips on them. I haven't decided which one I wanted to use yet, but for the African symbols on there, I'm definitely going to choose one of those. You need a paintbrush. I'm going to use white to accent the marks, and then you'll need some polyurethane. That's just a clear coat that's going to go on top to seal everything in. All right, so get all your supplies, and next we'll go ahead and start painting the table. All right, so I got the top of the paint can popped off, went ahead and stirred up my paint a little bit. For this project, I'm actually going to start painting the legs first, since that's the least amount of area that we have to paint. Let those dry. I'm not really going to concentrate on painting the bottom of the top of the table, but I am going to flip it over, obviously, and paint that half, let it dry. Come back, we're going to do the designs, then put on the polyurethane coat, and then from there, put it where I want it to fit in the house. So just so I can show you guys what this looks like. This is a gorgeous color. Definitely does not disappoint. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting this on the table. Love this color. So the theme of my house is an African theme, but I do have pops of this color all throughout the living room and my kitchen. You definitely don't want to mute the areas in your house with just one or two colors. Having a pop of color or two definitely will bring the room to life. So I chose this color because it came from the Sherwin-Williams paint selection when we bought the house. So I just kept with that theme. I'm pretty sure we'll change it in a few years, but definitely want to use everything that I have. So I won't bore you guys to tears with talking. Let me go ahead and get the rest of these legs painted. And then when I come back, we'll flip this bad girl over and go ahead and paint the top of the table. See you guys then. Okay, so yes, I did change my mind. I went ahead and painted the bottom of the table. It's not completely dry yet, but just to give you guys a peek at what it looks like. Like I said, I went ahead and changed my mind. So I'm going to give that about an hour or two to dry before I flip it over and paint it. Then we're going to allow it to dry again. And then we're going to go ahead and paint the design on there and then seal it with some polyurethane. And then we'll be done. Really excited. All right, we are at the final steps of completing our table. So my theme for my house is African. I have a lot of mudcloth prints. I have a juju hat. I have African women everywhere, African colors. Gonna go ahead and keep the theme going with this table. So I'm only gonna paint the top with mudcloth patterns. And I actually did a previous project where I painted some mudcloth patterns on the back of Dollar Tree. I call them flags, but what I love about Dollar Tree is that any time of the year when they're going through seasonal little trinkets, I call them, you can basically turn any of these over. So like here's one I got for spring. I mean, it's $1. You don't really have to worry about covering this part, but you simply turn it over, hit it with some Mod Podge, or just go ahead and paint it whatever color you want. You can put anything else on there. And then I love this one because it actually came with the rope to hang it with. But that was my previous project with the mudcloth. I'll insert a pic later to show you guys what that looks like for the inspiration. But that's the pattern I'm going to go ahead and paint on the top of this table. Once that dries, I'm going to hit it with some polyurethane, show you guys the final project, and then put it in my living room for an end table. So the paint that I have, I actually have two different colors of white. One is from Dollar Tree. So it's a little bit left in there. I'm going to use that. And then I have just regular acrylic paint. You can get this from Walmart for about 50 cents a bottle. They have a billion colors. So go ahead and grab whatever color you want. So for there, I'm going to go ahead and pop this into my little palette here. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started with painting. And then I'll show you guys what the patterns look like. Then we'll come back for the final stain. And then the big reveal. All right. So I went ahead and painted my pattern, and just to show you guys what I used to seal everything in, fast drying polyurethane by Mini Wax. Now this little can cost about $9, but with this a little bit goes a long way. I've used this on quite a few projects and still have about a third left in this can. So how I applied it was with this foam brush from Dollar Tree. You can get 6 foam brushes of different sizes for $1. And then sometimes the little balls of the foam brush will come off. If you can just see the detail right there, sometimes they'll come off. So what I recommend to use to get the balls off is not your finger or a cloth, but use tweezers. Tweezers are really cool at just pinpointing the little black balls that are on your table. And then from there, you won't actually mess up the stain that you just put onto whatever surface you have. So that's my advice on that. So I'm pretty sure you guys are wondering what the final result looks like of the table. And here she is. Gorgeous color, right? That nice pop of turquoise with the pattern on top from the Mudcloth, which is very symbolic in African culture, African tribes. I'm really excited about how this table came out. But once again, if you wanted to paint something different, you know, scenery or portrait, you can use whatever acrylic paint you want on top and then seal it with that polyurethane. So I'm going to go ahead and give this about an hour to dry because the polyurethane dries really, really fast. And then go ahead and set this up in my house. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave questions in the comments. I'll go ahead and put the links to everything that I used, from the paint to the polyurethane in here. Pretty much everything else you can get from Dollar Tree. I'll also see if I can find you a link to this specific table. I had bought this table at a garage sale a couple years ago, and it was just kind of sitting out in my garage. I had some things on it. And then one day I saw it and I was like, I could really make a nice craft out of that, nice DIY project. And I didn't disappoint. I actually proved myself right. So here she is, all for a whopping probably $5 to make. You know, when you think about the paint and me already having the table cost me, I think, like $3. And some polyurethane that I had left over, and then the brushes from Dollar Tree. So yeah, about a $5 or $6 DIY craft here that'll last for many years to come. So really enjoyed this. Stay tuned for the next project. I try to do once a week or every other week if I have the time between kids, husband, and work. But you know, this is really what I enjoy doing. So like I said, you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.